So we got next one for y'all today. We gotta react to this video right here from Blackie Speaks. It's Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl performance, The Hidden Messages. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not one of those dudes who overanalyze stuff, but since this beef, especially with Kendrick Lamar, it seemed like whatever he does is got so much layers to it, man. So of course we're about to check this out and let me know, how do y'all rate his Super Bowl performance in the comment section, man. Rate it out of 10, all right? Me personally, I give it somewhere around an 8-ish, 9-ish. I did enjoy it, man. But of course, we're going to dive into that a little bit more at the end, so let's check this out.
Now, Kendrick Lamar is currently trending after his Super Bowl performance, and for good reason. Ever since it was announced back in September that Kendrick was going to perform, the hype has been real. And now it finally happened, and people can't stop talking about it. But here's the thing, most people only saw what was on the surface. What they missed was the deeper message Kendrick was sending. This performance wasn't just about entertainment, it was filled with subliminals, symbolism, and a statement that went way beyond the music. So in this video, we're breaking it all down, what Kendrick was really trying to communicate, and why this might be one of the most important Super Bowl performances we've ever seen. Let's start with some of the basics, what I'd consider the less exciting but still important details. First, we have the A chain, which caught a lot of people's attention. Some fans believe the A could be a subliminal shot at Drake, referencing the A minor line from Not Like Us, or even Drake's real name, Aubrey. While there's definitely a possibility,
I don't believe Kendrick will go through all that to create a diamond-studded A chain, bro.
if you ask me, I think this is more about Kendrick promoting PG Lang. PG Lang, the company Kendrick started in 2020, specializes in music, film, television, and creative production. If you take a look at their merchandise, they frequently use the letter A, making it seem more like a branded promotion rather than a direct shot at Drake. That being said, I wouldn't put it past Kendrick to include this, knowing people would speculate and tie it back to their beef. But overall, I think this was less about the drama and more about using the big stage in America to push his brand forward. And then we have Serena Williams Crip Walk.
Yo, that part shook me up. This part, when I saw this,
in America to push his brand forward. And then we have,
when I saw this right here, I was like, oh hell nah, oh hell nah. He did not get Serena Williams to crip walk, pretty much dancing on Drake's grave. Y'all know what I mean. I ain't that deep, but yeah, man, I was like, ain't no way he got Serena Williams, man. She looked pretty good.
Serena Williams crip walking, which is so petty but undeniably funny. This moment was of course a direct, calculated jab, considering Serena's history with Drizzy. Serena Williams and Drake used to date at one point, for anyone who doesn't know. Their connection first gained traction in August 2015, when paparazzi snapped them getting cozy at a Cincinnati restaurant. Before that, Drake had already been spotted courtside at her tennis matches, fueling speculation. However, things between Serena and Drake eventually soured. The exact reason, well, nobody truly knows. But what we do know is that in 2022, Drake took an unexpected shot at Serena's husband, Alexis Ohanian.
And this is one of my biggest, sorry for all the pause, of course, but that's why I'm doing this. But this is one of my biggest issue with Drake when he does these type of stuff, man. He always does this type of thing where he calling up ladies and talking about who he slept with and all. Like, bro, men don't do that type of stuff, man. We don't. We're not supposed to, man. So when I see him doing these type of stuff, I'm like, bro, he probably, all right, I'm not going to get that, but he acting like somebody who not used to getting that pom-pom. You know what I mean? I said, he acting like somebody who not used to getting pom-pom. So they finally get something to say, they have to let everybody know, yeah, I did that and did this and that. Like, bro, like, calm down, my G.
Collab album with 21 Savage, Her Loss. He did this on the track Middle of the Ocean, when he said, sidebar Serena, your husband a groupie. He claimed we don't got a problem, but no boo, it is like you coming for sushi. That was a blatant sign of disrespect, not just towards Alexis, but indirectly towards Serena as well. And it was clear that she caught shade. Alexis Ohanian later responded on Twitter, brushing off Drake's comments while proudly embracing his role as a quote-unquote groupie for his wife and daughter. Very respectable man. Fast forward to the Super Bowl, and Serena's playful yet symbolic crip walking during Kendrick Lamar's performance almost felt like a subtle but satisfying clap back for the both of them. I think the deeper context definitely made it hilarious in its own right, whether intentional or not, which it probably was. It was another reminder that hip-hop and pop culture history always finds a way to resurface. So Serena, one of Drake's exes, and they obviously had a fallout. What a better way to send a message on the biggest stage than having her dance or crip walk.
That's Venus,
what is essentially the national hater anthem against Drake. Also, SZA having her dance or
I think that's
stage,
Venus.
then having her dance or crip walk. to what is essentially the national hater anthem against Drake. Also, SZA was up on that stage with Kendrick, and for anyone who didn't know, SZA used to actually date Drake back in 2009. So there's that. For the Serena angle, there's also another layer to this moment. Serena did grow up in Compton before moving to Florida at the age of 9. So not only does she share hometown roots with Kendrick Lamar, but the fact that they came together collectively to embrace a song that openly disses Drake, that's a shot 100%. It almost felt like a full circle moment. Kendrick, the hometown hero, using his Super Bowl performance to take aim at an industry rival, and then Serena, who grew up in Compton, casually hitting the crip walk to the same song right there on national television. Aside from that, we have Kendrick conveniently turning into the camera as soon as he...
I see people online bashing Kendrick jeans, y'all.
Conveniently.
People bashing... Y'all know that stuff is actually back in style now. Now, I'm not rocking that type of style. I ain't gonna lie to you. At least not yet. I can't say I won't. At least not yet. But that's what people are wearing. Like, baggy clothes is coming back in, man. Baggy clothes is coming back in. And that's what happens. That always happens with fashion, right? Fashion always come back around. A lot of stuff we watch like, oh, they used to do that back in the day. It come back because, man, I used to troll my parents and stuff with bell bottoms and stuff. Then bells came back. Then tight pants came back. They used to be wearing that tight shit back in the day. All that stuff coming back around, man. Now baggy clothes. You know, people was clowning us for wearing baggy clothes. Of course, I'm an old head, right? But guess what? I seen baggy clothes coming back again, y'all. That's crazy, man. How fashion
into the camera as soon as he, he said, "Say
Sorry
Drake,
for that
I hear you like I'm young." Better not go to sell
that was
one. Now that I don't think there's anything particularly deep about that, but you guys seen the look on this guy's
look
face.
Look at the evil face, bro.
I ain't really gonna say anything. Just look at this guy.
Yo, Kendrick is diabolical, man. Kendrick is an evil genius. Look at his face. He is enjoying it too much. He's at like you're suing like
hate a million times written all over it, okay? Now that aside, let's actually go over the real shit now, okay? And this is something you're probably only gonna hear here because nobody breaks this down like me. So how about drop a like on this video for your boy.
Sure.
So most people obviously paid attention to those surface level things like the A-Chain, Serena, and all that. Those things aside, this wasn't just a performance. This so-called performance, okay, this was actually a political statement. The show opened with none other than legendary actor Samuel L. Jackson introducing Kendrick Lamar. But this wasn't just an introduction. Samuel L. Jackson was dressed as Uncle Sam, the well-known symbol which is supposed to represent the U.S. government. So he's a physical embodiment of the government, okay? And that embodies authority, control, which is essentially the same system that Kendrick has been fighting for the entirety of his career, but most importantly of all, life. Kendrick Lamar has...
Oh, he about to go deep right here, man. He about to go extra deep. So I'm going to probably, not pause as much, but he about to go on next level deep. I already see the direction he's going. He's getting political and all that
his
stuff.
Entire career being critical of the systems in America that have contributed to so much of the pain Black America has faced. He's never shied away from addressing oppression, economic disparity, and systematic racism in his music. In fact, he dedicated an entire album to these themes in 2015 called To Pimp a Butterfly. One of the most striking examples of this is Wesley's Theory, the very first song on the album where Kendrick raps, "Anything to see, my name is Uncle Sam, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can't live at the mall. I know you're kind, that's why I'm kind. Don't have receipts, oh man, that's fine. Pay me later, wear those gators. Cliche, then say F your haters." Now this particular song is about the financial traps that have kept Black Americans stuck in a cycle of debt and economic struggle. Kendrick paints a picture of the U.S. government personified as Uncle Sam, luring young Black men into a false sense of financial freedom, encouraging them to overspend, indulge in materialism, and accumulate debt, all while knowing that the system is designed to keep them from ever truly attaining wealth. Simply put, it's a trap. And Kendrick...
I could comment on this a little bit, man, and I'm not going to stay long, but one thing I notice is it's a very common practice to live above your means in the U.S. I noticed that for real. And not just the U.S., actually. It's a very common practice that it's all about getting them that, living that life way above your means, like having that luxurious car, that extra big house that you can't really fully afford. It's really, really popular. And I noticed that while I was going to school up there, I had a lot of friends up there, and I was like, bro, why you got a closet full of shoes, bro, and you broke as hell? Like, why you driving that Benz right there and you barely got money? Like, it just didn't make sense to me, right? It did, like, that's not how I grew up. So when I saw it, I was like, bro, how are they affording to? Then they explain how these leases and trade-ins and things work and credit cards. I was like, well, till this day, when I use my card, I don't use my card unless I have the money there to put it right back, to pay it right back. So my credit is phenomenal, like over 800 or something like that. But that's how I know to use money, right? Even when if I take a loan, like I don't miss any payments. Like I pay extra and try to get it off as quick as possible because, and that's just, but that's not how you know these things were meant to be used. To be honest, these companies love putting people in debt. I'm sorry for that long side little rant, but let's continue on, man.
Kendrick, being as intentional as he is, wasn't just referencing the song for nostalgia. His decision to have Samuel L. Jackson, dressed as Uncle Sam, introduce his Super Bowl performance was a callback to this very idea, reminding us that financial literacy, systematic racism, and the exploitation of black culture are still very relevant conversations today. Wesley's theory is a direct reference to actor Wesley Snipes, who famously went to prison for tax evasion. Kendrick used Snipes' situation as a metaphor for how the system sets up black artists, athletes, and entertainers to fail financially. Wesley Snipes was once one of the biggest actors in Hollywood, but after failing to pay millions in taxes, the American government came down on him hard. While tax evasion is a crime regardless of who commits it, Kendrick's point is that black celebrities are often placed in a financial trap, encouraged to spend recklessly, not given the tools for financial literacy, and then penalized harshly when they make mistakes. Kendrick's message in Wesley's theory is that the system doesn't just allow black success, it profits off of black success while making sure that the wealth never truly stays within the community. The government gives opportunities, loans, and access to luxury, but then punishes those who don't navigate the system correctly. It's a cycle, one that's intentionally designed to keep black people chasing wealth without ever achieving true financial independence.
Not just black people, though. Trust me, it's not just black people. It's across the board. Just the whole system in place, man. And I noticed that while I was up there, for real. Like it was so glaring to me that I was like, whoa, okay. I now see why people are in these credit card debts and all that stuff. I now see why. Like, no, that's not how I operate till this day, to be honest. I saw the mistakes of my friends. I saw what they had to do, to actually get out of that eventually and all that stuff. So, yeah.
And when you bring this back to the Super Bowl performance, the symbolism becomes even clearer. Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam wasn't just a random creative choice, it was a statement. Kendrick was showing that the same oppressive forces he's been rapping about for years are still at play, even on one of America's biggest stages while he's on that stage. Essentially, Kendrick is saying the same forces that allowed me to get on the stage, the ones that helped me get to my success and wealth, are the same forces still controlling the game while I'm performing on this stage. It's a paradox. Kendrick is saying that, hey, I know that I'm benefiting from the system, but he's also a product of the system's constraints. Alright, we're not playing that entire clip, man, because they're trying to get my motherfucking coins out here, bro, and I'm not going to let that happen. And that's why Samuel L. Jackson, representing the U.S. government, injects himself into the performance by saying, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. This moment isn't just about performance theatrics. It's a direct critique of how black expression is often policed and commodified. It's the system allowing Kendrick to exist, but only under certain conditions. The message is clear. Be successful, but not too successful. Speak out, but not too loud. Stay in line, play the game, and don't disrupt the system that benefits you. Now, the game he's referring to is the entertainment industry itself. The same industry that uplifts, but of course exploits black artists at the same time. It's the idea that as long as you're making money for the system, you're welcome. But the moment you challenge it too much, you become a problem. Kendrick has played this game masterfully throughout his career. He's managed to critique the system while still thriving within it. But at the Super Bowl, one of the biggest stages in America, he's making it clear. I know exactly what this is, and I know exactly how much freedom I actually have. Now, this is where Drake comes into the picture. Drake is a Canadian guy who, unlike Kendrick, has never been positioned as a revolutionary or a disruptor. He plays the game effortlessly, adapting to every trend, every industry shift, and every cultural moment without ever truly challenging the system. The battle...
They're really yin and yang for real. If you really look at Drake and Kendrick, they're really yin and yang, man. And me as a Tupac stan, and I had a friend who was a Biggie fan, we always would debate on stuff like that because I would be like, bro, Tupac is the greatest because his music touch your shit. And my friend used to be like, yeah, but you can't dance to his shit. Like, Biggie have that bop though. I got the girls in the club going crazy, and we used to always debate about that stuff, man. And I always resonated with this type or this direction. Not to say I ain't gonna rock out with the next side too whenever I'm in that situation. Like if I'm in the club, I mean, I'm not gonna rock to a Kendrick like that, to be honest. I mean, now we gonna rock to this Not Like Us. But normally, and I'm not in the club that often, but when I was in the club, yeah, we gonna rock out to what's good club music, the Drakes, the Biggies in that, in the past, whatever be the case may be. But when I'm listening by myself, I like something to make me think a little bit. Sometimes he go a little bit too deep, though. I have to say that. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I always, you know, kind of more lean towards this more, conscious vibe kind of thing.
Between Kendrick and Drake isn't just about music or two rappers going at each other. It represents something bigger. It's yin versus yang, good versus evil, authenticity versus industry manipulation. Kendrick is the artist who constantly critiques the system, calling out its flaws and exposing its traps. Drake, on the other hand, is the artist who thrives within the confines of the system. Drake, for a long time, has represented the industry's favorite artist, marketable, accessible, and not so controversial. Kendrick, on the other hand, represents the people's artist, critical, disruptive, and unwilling to conform. Their rivalry has been painted as
One thing people forgot, because I am a music head still, people forgot when Jay-Z tried to do that thing, right? With I forgot this when they try to separate from all the labels and all that stuff and the streaming services, and Drake signed that huge Apple deal. It destroyed everything they were trying to do. People forgot that Drake was that trump card Apple had that gave them that kind of, advantage over the music industry, where these other artists didn't have a choice because Apple had the biggest artists, man, and the hottest artists at the time too. So whatever Jay-Z and Rock Nation was trying to do, yeah, it was, yeah.
as just another rap beef, but on a deeper level, it's a clash of ideologies. That's really what it is. So when Kendrick takes on the biggest stage in American entertainment and turns it into a statement against the system, it's not just
Tidal
about
is the name.
Drake.
Tidal.
It's what he symbolizes.
What
It's
they tried
Kendrick
to do with
reminding the
Tidal.
world that the industry rewards those who play the game and silence those who question it. And by performing Not Like Us, he made sure that message was loud and clear. Now later on, before Kendrick is about to perform Peekaboo, Samuel L. Jackson delivers the line, "I see you brought your homeboys with you." The old culture cheat code, scorekeeper, deduct one life. This is more than just a random transition. It's a loaded statement. This moment ties directly into the overarching theme of the performance, the battle between playing the game and challenging the system just enough. "I see you brought your homeboys with you." On the surface, it acknowledges Kendrick bringing
what
his
I
team,
mean?
his culture, and most importantly of all, his people to the stage. But coming from Samuel L. Jackson, who's playing Uncle Sam, the symbol of the US government and the industry's power, it carries a condescending tone. It suggests that Kendrick is leaning on the strength of his roots, his community, and black culture to make an impact. It's almost as if Uncle Sam is saying, "Oh, so you're using your people, your authenticity, your blackness as a way in?" And it's funny because blackness is literally the source of everything in the entertainment industry. Music, style, culture. But when it comes to the image that the industry wants to represent, it's often watered down, controlled, or repackaged to be more digestible for mainstream audiences. Hip-hop, R&B, and black culture as a whole have shaped every major movement in music and entertainment. Yet the industry has historically treated black artists as both the foundation and the afterthought. Black artists are expected to innovate, set trends, and define culture. But when they become too
He's in his
outspoken
bag,
or too
bro.
disruptive or too unapologetically black, they're met with resistance. And this is that resistance at play. When Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam dismisses Kendrick's authenticity as just a cultural cheat code, it reflects how the industry uses black culture while trying to control who gets to profit from it. So this could be a subtle dig at how the industry exploits black culture, allowing artists to bring their background into the mainstream only when it benefits the system. Also, he's performing
cooking.
Peekaboo, so let's talk about the white outfits, okay?
You know what's weird with Peekaboo? I didn't like this song like that. Like that's one of the songs that we started off at the beginning, skipping, and eventually I was like, oh, okay, now I see what he doing. To me, it's a whole shot song that's taking shot at Drake. I don't care what nobody says.
Because those white outfits right there is definitely more than just a fashion choice. If you follow Kendrick's career, you know that he doesn't do anything without intention. In a situation like this, there's a strong argument that this was a direct reference to the KKK and the idea of America. All the dancers dressed in white, moving in unity, while Kendrick performs a song that directly calls out Drake, who's supposed to represent the system. That visual alone is very symbolic. The Ku Klux Klan, also known as the KKK, is known for wearing white robes, representing white supremacy, oppression, and the same systematic racism Kendrick has been speaking out against his entire career. And let's not forget that hip-hop has been calling out America from Ice Cube to Tupac, and now Kendrick is continuing that tradition on one of the biggest stages in America. This could also be a reference to Colin Kaepernick. The NFL has a complicated history with race, from how the Colin Kaepernick situation played out to the way black artists have been selectively allowed to perform on certain stages. And yet Kendrick gets up there and flips the entire thing into a critique of the system itself. It's almost like he's saying, look, I know what country this is, I know how this game is played, and I know exactly where we stand. Now, right before Kendrick is about to perform Not Like Us, Samuel L. Jackson delivers another loaded line.
That's what America wants.
So we're gonna have to cut that short because copyright is beating my fucking ass right now, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what America wants. Nice and calm. You're almost there. Don't miss this. And before he can even finish, Kendrick cuts him off, launching straight into Not Like Us. So this moment wasn't just theatrical. Now this moment wasn't just theatrical. It was symbolic. It was the system quite literally being interrupted. Samuel L. Jackson, still playing the role of Uncle Sam, the government, the establishment, the industry, was essentially telling Kendrick, this is what we want from you, something safe, something that doesn't challenge us. You're almost where we want you. Stay in line and don't ruin it. But Kendrick doesn't let him finish. Instead, he shuts him completely down and jumps straight into Not Like Us, arguably the most rebellious moment of the entire show. And that right there, that's the perfect representation of how America has always tried to police black voices. The government has a history of suppressing outspoken black figures, whether through censorship, blackballing, or outright violence. The entertainment industry has a habit of rewarding black artists only when they play by the rules and punish those who challenge the system. The media often tries to dictate how black artists should behave, expecting them to be nice and calm rather than unapologetic and disruptive, because when other groups of people speak up, it's seen as passion, advocacy, standing up for what's right. But when black people speak up, suddenly it's labeled as aggression, a threat.
You know what he sung like? Sorry, he sung like woman. Women say the same thing. Black women specifically say the same thing. Or when other people speak up, it sounds like passion, aggression. But when black women speaks up, it sounds like exactly what he's saying right here.
Or something that needs to be controlled. But Kendrick isn't here to be a threat or something that needs to be controlled. But Kendrick,
let me go back.
Nice and calm rather than unapologetic and disruptive. Because when other groups of people speak up, it's seen as passion, advocacy, standing up for what's right. But when black people speak up, suddenly it's labeled as aggression, a threat, or something that needs to be controlled. But Kendrick isn't here to be controlled. The second Uncle Sam tries to contain him, he breaks free by being his loud, aggressive self and does the very thing they don't want him to do. And then to top it all off, Kendrick ends his Super Bowl performance with the song TV Off, which quite literally means turn the damn TV off.
Turn this TV off, turn this.
I think there are two major layers to why Kendrick chose to end this performance with this song. First of all, it's definitely a universal message to everyone. In a world where people are constantly fed media narratives, propaganda, and distractions, Kendrick is telling the audience to wake up. The Super Bowl is one of the biggest spectacles in America. Corporations spend billions just to have a commercial slot because they know the whole world is watching. The game, the halftime show, the ads, it's all a distraction from real life issues that don't go away once the TV is off. Kendrick ending with TV off could be him saying, enough with the distractions. Think for yourself. And then the other half of the message is a message to Black America. The media has historically controlled the narrative about black people, whether through the news, entertainment, or politics, or the entertainment industry. The way black artists, athletes, and leaders are portrayed is often filtered through a lens of control, only showing what fits the agenda. So when Kendrick closes off his performance with TV Off, it's his way of telling Black America to stop letting the media dictate their reality. Don't let America decide who your heroes are. Don't let the system control the narrative. Kendrick was clearly sending a message with this performance, and I can't believe there are people who thought this was just a regular halftime show, but then again, it makes sense. The masses only see what's on the surface. That's how it's always been. Most people just saw a high energy performance, a few viral moments, and some controversy, but if you've been following Kendrick's career, you already know that this man never does anything without a purpose, and that's why I respect him so much. You can't hear me break all this down and still think it was just about entertainment. Love him or hate him, Kendrick has always been about the message. He's never been the type to chase clout or drop music just for the sake of it. Every time he speaks, he's saying something, and this performance was just another example of that. And this is exactly why I'm so happy he's having this moment, because we finally have an artist on the biggest stage in America who's as authentic.
Oh, so that's why he had to do laying on the. I was wondering why they had to do laying on the pole in the Super Bowl itself. I saw something on Twitter that's, I forgot what they call it. They say it's a symbolism or some kind of card or something like that. Which is crazy, man. We're supposed to symbolize time going past, whatever. Whatever. It's a little technical, whatever. But yeah, I was wondering why. This is what it's
this stage in America who's as authentic as an artist can possibly be. From mixtape Kendrick to Super Bowl Kendrick, I've been following this guy since he first came in the game. Sounded like Lil Wayne. Back when he was still, Lil K Dot, rapping over other people's beats and finding his voice. So to see him evolve from that young kid from Compton to a cultural icon who's using the Super Bowl as a statement, that's iconic and legendary. Honestly, it's great. And what makes it even greater is how much he's able to say with so little. And this is what separates Kendrick from everyone else. He doesn't just tell you, he shows you. Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, the system controlling black artists, the dancers dressed in white, possible reference to America and white supremacy, cutting off Uncle Sam before Not Like Us, defying the system in real time, ending with TV off, the final statement, wake up, stop being distracted. Every single moment was intentional. This wasn't just a performance, guys, this was a culture moment right here. But I'm of course just one man with one perspective and one voice, which is why I want to hear what you guys have to say about this entire Super Bowl performance by Kendrick Lamar. If you're new here, my name is Blackie Speaks. So nice to meet you. Like the video and of course subscribe if you are new here. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the comment section below, but most importantly of all, I'll catch you guys.
I know, man. That was a good breakdown. I see a lot of breakdowns out there though, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. I did enjoy it. I ain't gonna front. I did enjoy it, and I watched it back a few times, and I did pick up on a few things that he was talking about, especially the narrative that Samuel L. Jackson was trying to push. Like, I picked up on that pretty well. But overall, again, to me, is one of the best, but that's a little biased because I'm not a major, huge football guy, seeing that I'm not necessarily from the US, right? So I actually got into football after I went to college for basketball. Then I was like, okay, this sport, I play a little flag football for fun or whatever. So that's when I started diving into it a little bit. So Super Bowl is not as huge, but I still do watch the Super Bowl damn near every single year. But one of the main reasons I did watch was to see that performance and see what he would do. I did not look at any of the leagues that people was like, I'm one of those people who, if I haven't seen a movie, my friends don't speak about anything when it comes to that movie around me because it will piss me off. I don't like people just ruining my experience. I want to see it for the first time. So I saw the leaks on Twitter and just avoided everything. I avoided Twitter until this performance was there. Whether it was true or not, I didn't even know if it's a line. I hear people saying it's a line now, but who cares? Clearly, they were trying to ruin everyone's experience. So they leaked it or the lineup, and some of the sound was aligning whatever early. But I definitely did not see anything. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You already know your boy saying first time to the channel, like, share, subscribe. How blessed, be safe out there, y'all. Peace.